This is a special report from KOMO News 4.
Good afternoon, I'm Dan Lewis.
And I'm Kathy Gertson. We'll get right back to One Life to Live, but first we want to bring you the very latest on the Seahawks' possible move to Los Angeles.
Indications are stronger than ever today that Seahawks owner Ken Behring is going to tell King County officials the team is leaving, and he might do that in a meeting that we understand could have begun just minutes ago. KOMO Sports Director Bruce King is here with more. Bruce, what can you tell us about what's happening today?
Well, it's been a very, very interesting day, but neither the Behrings nor King County officials have confirmed the reports yet. But here's what we do know. If the Seahawks do move, it will be in time for the '96 season. They will play in the Rose Bowl until a new stadium can be built. And Ken Behring will continue as the owner of the team. Now, we understand the NFL is anxious to get a team in the LA market because of falling television ratings during the last football season. And that helped open the door for the Behrings to move the Seahawks, if indeed that's what they do, but that's what we're hearing.
The Seahawks fans are saying, this team's been here for 20 years. I mean, how can this happen?
Well, I think the big reason for it is this. You look at the Mariners say, we need a new stadium. And there's going to be a new stadium built for the Mariners. The Sonics have renovation of the the Coliseum. It's now the Key Arena. But nothing has been done as far as the Seahawks are concerned, and they're just not addressing, they feel, the needs of the Seahawks and of the Kingdom. And it's one of those things where they're becoming upset and saying, look, we do studies and so forth, and we need this done, and this done, but you're not doing anything for us. We're going to move if you don't do anything for us, and that's really what's happening at that meeting this afternoon.
Final ultimatum day.
Yeah, and they can go to Los Angeles. No teams in LA, 2 teams have moved there, second largest market in the country.
Could be a lot of lawsuits, though, before this
Absolutely,
happens.
that could happen, yes.
There are some reports also that Disney is involved with this deal. We contacted Disney officials this afternoon who gave us a no comment. They told us they would only make an announcement when there is a done deal.
KOMO's Eric Johnson is at Seahawk headquarters. He joins us now to continue our Team 4 coverage. Eric, I keep hearing that the mood out there today is very unusual.
Well, I'll tell you what, if the mood at Seahawk headquarters is any indication at all, this is shaping into one of the darkest days in Seattle sports history. Every indication out here has been that Ken Behring is not only ready, but willing to pack up his football team and go play football somewhere else. Our sources told us last night that a meeting was held with the coaching staff, Dennis Erickson and his staff, 2 days ago, to let them know that a move is imminent. Those same sources told us last night that the longtime employees of this franchise were gathered together yesterday and told the exact same thing. If those sources prove correct, then the only people who have yet to be told are the King County officials and the fans here in the city of Seattle. Take a look at some shots that we took throughout the day here at Seahawk headquarters. The mood, as I mentioned, very somber. Not a lot of smiles. Some employees showed up to work, a lot of them in fact, but as of yet we haven't seen anybody walking out with boxes. I guess that's a good sign. The shades were drawn shut, either to block out the sun or the media, perhaps both. Phones have been ringing off the hook inside Seahawk headquarters. And the Seahawks specials team snapper Trey Junkin showed up to look around. He's not happy with the situation at all, but he says he'll go where he has to.
Seattle's a great sports town, and it would be a shame for the city not to get off its butt and do something to keep the Seahawks here, because I got news. This is it. This is the only football team that's ever going to be here.
Dan and Kathy, to be quite honest with you, it almost feels like a death watch here at the headquarters. The media and the employees seem pretty resigned to the fact that this team is going to be heading out of town.
Sad news, Eric. We'll stay in touch with you out there for more when you know it. Thank you.
So it is looking more and more like the rumors are true this time. We understand there is a meeting this afternoon. It could be going on right now at a secret location between King County and Seahawks owner Ken Behring. We will, of course, let you know what happens as soon as we get any word.
In the meantime, we invite you to stay with us all afternoon and all evening for the latest developments on this breaking story. We will have another update at 2 o'clock, but right now we take you back to One Life to Live.
Stay with the KOMO News 4 team for continuing coverage. This is a special report from KOMO News 4.
Good afternoon, I'm Kathy Gertson. Indications are stronger than ever that Seahawks owner Ken Behring is indeed going to tell King County officials the Seahawks are leaving Seattle in a meeting that we believe is happening right now. No one is officially confirming it yet, but sources do tell us the Seahawks will move to Los Angeles for the '96 season. We will have another update at 3 o'clock, and if we get any new information before that, we'll bring it to you right away.
This is a special report from KOMO News 4.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Margot Myers. We have some new information about the announcement expected today regarding the fate of the Seahawks. We're just getting in some unedited pictures of county officials heading into a meeting at Carillon Point in Kirkland. These are the cars arriving this morning. You see County Executive Gary Locke there. He was also had a staff attorney with him. Councilmember Peter von Reichbauer is in those meetings this morning too. They met all day yesterday for several hours. These talks are a continuation of those meetings. We understand that after this meeting there will be an executive session of the County Council. That's set for about 9:30, 10 to 15 minutes from now, followed at some point by a news conference and an announcement. We'll bring you that announcement live as it happens, and if there are any developments between now and then, we'll break into regular programming right away. So we hope you stay with KOMO News 4 for the very latest.
Stay with the KOMO News 4 team for continuing coverage. You're watching KOMO TV 4 in Seattle. Now, KOMO News 4.
People of the Pacific Northwest cherish honesty.
It is with great regret that I am announcing today that the NFL franchise we purchased in 1988 is leaving Seattle.
And this is not just about football. This is about honoring commitments and honoring a lease.
This decision was an extremely difficult one to make, and one that was not made in haste.
Mr. Behring gave his word. We will see Mr. Behring in court.
So now the lines are drawn for the battle in Seattle. Good evening, everyone. Now we know for sure Ken Behring wants to move his NFL team out of Seattle. The question is, can he be stopped?
King County is not wasting any time trying to stop him. The court battle began this afternoon. That is just part of the story. For NFL response, we have Bruce King in Hawaii, where the Pro Bowl will be held this weekend. For the Los Angeles response, our reporter Sharon Dennis is there live. Our live Team 4 coverage locally includes KOMO's Keith Eldridge at Seahawk headquarters. Brian Johnson is following legal challenges at the King County Courthouse.
But we begin tonight with KOMO's Jim Snyder, who caught up with Seahawks owner Ken Behring late this afternoon. What do you have to say, Jim?
Well, Kathy, like a lot of other reporters in town, I wanted to talk to Ken Behring today. I was staked out all day at his hotel in Kirkland. We waited for hours for him to come out and talk with us. He never did. Well, I found out what room he was in, so I went up and knocked on the door. And here's what happened next. Hi, Mr. Behring. Jim Snyder from KOMO TV. Can we just ask you a couple of quick questions?
You know, it's on the lawsuit if you want to look.
We're curious. A lot of people out there are feeling a little betrayed by you and the ownership of the Seahawks right now. Do you have anything?
If you read the lawsuit, you'll see what happened.
Do you have anything to say to the fans here in Seattle? They feel like you promised to keep the team here, and now...
Lawsuit. I've tried everything possible. Read the lawsuit, and you'll find what happened.
So for you, it's all a matter of the facility, the Kingdom?
Oh, sure.
What about the county's lawsuit? Does that worry you?
Not really.
How do you think this is all going to turn out?
Who knows?
Do you have
Just read our lawsuit.
Do you have the support of the league, do you think, to make the move?
Thank you.
When are you going back to California? And with that, our quick conversation was over. Now, as far as we know, Ken Behring is still in that hotel room tonight, and a crowd of other reporters are waiting outside for a chance to talk with him. Dan, Kathy?
He didn't seem to be too willing to talk, obviously, but he looked calm, not too concerned.
Yeah, you know, if you listen to any talk radio today, you find out this guy is considered by many to be public enemy #1 tonight. But I got to tell you, for a guy at the center of that kind of storm, he seems subdued, quiet, mellow, I guess is the best word I can use.
Well, we did want to hear what he had to say. You gave it your best shot. Thanks.
Well, King County officials have an entirely different view of what has happened.
They say Behring made up his mind quite a while ago that nothing would keep him in Seattle. KOMO's Keith Eldridge continues our Team 4 coverage from Seahawk headquarters in Kirkland. Keith?
Well, Dan and Kathy, the sun is just now setting here at Seahawk headquarters in more ways than one. Ken Behring's son, Dave Behring, left just a few moments ago, rushing out of here. Obviously, it's a tough moment for everybody here at Seahawk headquarters. A lot of grim faces inside. King County is going to court to try to stop Ken Behring from leaving, and the county is also going out courting a potential new buyer. Now, other teams in other cities have successfully left their towns, but people around here, the county officials say this case is different.
Mr. Behring has made it clear that he has decided to take his franchise out of the Northwest and head south to his home in California.
County Executive Gary Locke says the Northwest has been betrayed. Early this morning, he and County Councilmember Pete Von Reichbauer went to Ken Behring's Kirkland Hotel in a last-ditch effort to talk him out of leaving. It was the 5th such meeting between the two sides. But county officials say Behring's mind was already made up. He issued this prepared statement.
This decision was an extremely difficult one to make, and one that was not made in haste.
We have negotiated in good faith and met with Mr. Behring repeatedly over the last several months, but Mr. Behring has had a habit of moving the goalposts on us.
At issue, whether the Kingdome is a safe and suitable place for professional football. Behring claims the building is not earthquake safe.
These fundamental problems with the Kingdome, seismic and otherwise, put the county, we believe, in breach of its contractual obligations to the Seahawks. Accordingly, we believe that there is no further legal obligation to play games at the Kingdome.
This is not about earthquake safety. This is about money. And one of the last things that Mr. Behring said was, if he would stay, if only he could make money. And this is not just about football. This is about honoring commitments and honoring a lease. Mr. Behring has a valid lease. This community expects him to honor it.
This is a battle with two fronts. While the lawsuit seeks to stop Behring from leaving, Von Reichbauer is working with Behring in hopes of finding a local buyer to keep the team here.
There have been some contacts made already with a third party, and those contacts are ongoing.
Somebody who could easily take over the team and keep it here.
Someone with extreme financial credibility, both in this community as well as around the country.
And Senator Slade Gorton says he'll do everything he can to assist at the federal level to keep the team here. But clearly today, Behring is trying to say goodbye.
On behalf of all the members of the Seahawks family, the players, the coaches, and the staff, I would like to express our sincere thanks to all of our fans in Seattle and the Pacific Northwest.
And in saying goodbye today, Ken Behring made one last offer. He was offering King County $1 million a year for the next 20 years and also use of the facility here in Kirkland for the Seahawks, a new team that would ever come in or any kind of use they'd wanted. But King County officials said, no thanks, we will see you in court. Now, Ken Behring's attorney is making more comments this evening. If anything should change, if any new comments come out of that, we'll let you know. Dan, Kathy.
And we see people occasionally coming and going behind you there, but that place is pretty much shut down.
It is shut down for all intents and purposes. As I mentioned, Dave Behring, the president of the Seahawks, just left just moments ago. The gate is closed. We see another person coming out now. These are the last remnants of the employees. We're not sure if they're being told to stay home for good or report for work in Southern California at some future date.
Sad day there. Keith, thank you.
Now, the decision of the Seattle Seahawks to leave may have surprised a few, but not county lawyers and certainly not Behring's lawyers.
No, the attorneys have been working furiously, and both sides filed lawsuits within minutes of the collapse of the talks today. KOMO's Brian Johnson continues our Team 4 coverage with that part of the story from the King County Courthouse. Brian?
Well, Dan, there are over 100 pages in these two documents, one filed by the Seahawks in Kittitas County, the other filed by King County here in King County Superior Court. Now, if you think those could have been all typed up in the 15 minutes following today's hearing, they must have had 1,000 lawyers doing it. Those documents were around for quite some time. The question was, who would drop the first rock? Well, the first one to throw down the gauntlet was King County Prosecutor Norm Malling.
They have broken their contract. It is illegal, it is wrong, and this shall not stand.
Within minutes, the county was in court, arguing the Seahawks are acting illegally and must be stopped.
The county doesn't want to be in a position, and it didn't bargain to be in the position, of relying upon the National Football League to preserve its rights under this contract. The county has a lease that requires that the Seahawks play home games until 2005 in the Kingdome.
Behring's attorneys argued the Kingdome isn't safe. An earthquake there would be disaster.
But there is no way that this county can stand in front of this court and claim that that is a safe structure for the playing of games by the Seattle Seahawks come this fall.
But Judge Dale Rammerman was unimpressed, unconvinced the dome will fall.
The court concludes that the county has established a basis, an adequate basis for the court to grant a temporary restraining order that will be in effect for 14 days or
That is until February 16th. At 8:45 a.m., they'll resume the arguments in King County Court. Until that time, the Seahawks can't pick up a briefcase, can't pack a box, can't pack up their headquarters, and can't head to L.A. Meanwhile, KOMO News learned just a few minutes ago that Ken Behring was contacted by Pete von Reitbauer and asked to stay in Seattle over the weekend. Von Reitbauer also indicates there may be an offer made to Behring Saturday or Sunday. He won't say who might make that offer. If the offer is not accepted, then it's off to court again. Kathy, Dan?
Well, I want to ask you who you might think it is, but I probably shouldn't because that would be just speculation at this point. But there's been a lot of talk about Paul Allen, and we talked with his office today, in fact, which said that he would be interested if the team were for sale. Are you hearing his name?
Yes, I am. I didn't want to mention his name. Pete von Reitbauer is not mentioning his name. All he will say is the third party contacted me. He expects to be in contact with him over the weekend. He's asked Behring to stay in town. He does not expect a face-to-face meeting between the two. Von Reitbauer says he's trying to act as a liaison.
Well, the other key part here, Brian, is that I have never, ever heard Ken Behring say he wants to sell this team.
That's true. The question becomes, if Ken Behring were to call the National Football League and Paul Tagliabue were to say to him, Mr. Behring, I'll tell you what, we'll let you have the team we decide moves to Los Angeles if you want to buy it. But first of all, you got to sell those Seahawks. Then Ken Behring might change his tune. And besides, he's changed his tune hundreds of times over the last hundreds of days.
Good point, Brian. All right, thanks very much.
Well, there's no doubt about it. We have reached one of the low points in Seattle sports history.
I think it also indicates a low point for the National Football League, which has teams moving all over the place. Eric Johnson of KOMO Sports joins us now to continue our Team 4 coverage. And when is this going to stop?
I have no idea. I hope it stops soon. It seems like the NFL is reaching a new low point about every single month. 20 years of Seahawk football tradition have unfortunately been reduced now to a bunch of lawyers with their loopholes and litigations doing battle in the courtrooms. The National Football League is in a state of utter chaos right now. Teams bouncing around from city to city. Fans all over America left to wonder, where is the league here? Where is the commissioner? This afternoon, an NFL spokesperson issued this statement. It's not much. Listen close. The Seahawks advised our office last week of their view that the Kingdome was unusable and unsafe due to seismic risks. This office is not in the position to determine whether there is a seismic risk in the Kingdome. We are not in a position to determine whether the Seahawks stadium lease has been broken. Until these matters are resolved, the team will remain in Seattle as far as the league is concerned. Any further comment at this point would be speculative. Didn't really say much, did they? They certainly did not address the league's disapproval of the Behring's power play to get that L.A. franchise. As you know, all 30 owners signed a document months ago agreeing that the league would decide who went to L.A., not an individual owner. That alone is a lawsuit waiting to happen. Most of the league's officials are in Honolulu right now for this weekend's Pro Bowl. That's also where our man Bruce King is. He joins us by phone. Bruce, I know you just landed, but have you had any contact with any NFL people or Seahawk players as of yet?
You know, it is interesting, Eric. No, we haven't, to answer your question first, except we ran into a former Cougar star, and you'll all know Jack Thompson, the former Cougar great who played at Tampa Bay. And Jack just had gotten off a plane. We met him at the airport as we were getting off the plane. He's here for an all-Samoan affair this evening in Waikiki, and he was just shocked. And he said everyone he's talked to has been shocked. And we're on our way now to try to run down the NFL officials, try to run down the commissioner if we can, and also run down the players, the Seahawk players who are here for the Pro Bowl game. But as I was saying, we just arrived in town. We're on our way to the hotel right now, and we'll try to wrap that up, and we'll try to have something for you later. It's a very interesting story, and certainly one that you would think would be at headlines throughout the country. But we're looking right now at the Honolulu Star Bulletin, and all they have is Pro Bowl information, and there is nothing about this story anywhere in the sports page here in Honolulu.
Bruce, you've been covering this league for years, of course. Behring says he doesn't have a deal with any city, with any stadium, with any practice facility down in California. Does that ring true to you? It almost seems kind of absurd.
It's strange, isn't it? It is really strange. No, you would think before he would ever make the move to say, I'm leaving Seattle, something would have to be in concrete somewhere for him to move. I would think that would be true. We'll try to run down what we can here, and we'll try to come up with some answers if we can. But you know how the NFL is. you know, their statement that you had on just a moment ago, they're very, very quiet about what they do, and they sort of keep it under wraps until they make a decision. But I'm with you when you say, hey, the NFL owners all agreed that the commissioner would be the key figure in deciding who would go to Los Angeles. Hasn't happened. Strange, strange story.
All right, Bruce, thanks a lot. We'll be getting reports from you throughout the weekend.
One other thing, Eric, I have to tell you, you may be excited that we're in Hawaii, where it's beautiful all the time.
Yeah?
Okay, I want you to know it's raining and about 75 degrees here right now.
Breaks my heart, Bruce.
I know it does.
It just breaks my heart. We'll be hearing more from Bruce later on tonight. And the other guy involved in Dennis Erickson. Imagine this guy had lots of coaching offers, comes to Seattle because it's his home area. What happens with Dennis Erickson?
Be interesting to hear what he has to say, too, if he ever surfaces around here. All right, thank you.
King County Councilmember Peter von Reichbauer says Seahawks owner Ken Behring is looking at a training facility used by the former LA Rams, and they played their games at Anaheim Stadium.
And that is fueling a lot of speculation that the Seahawks may be interested in relocating to Anaheim, and that's where KOMO's Sharon Dennis is standing by, live with this Southern California connection. Sharon?
Well, I tell you what, here in Anaheim, you have the Disney company, which very interested in acquiring an NFL team, and you have the city of Anaheim, which recently lost an NFL team, the Los Angeles Rams, to St. Louis. Now, you throw all of that together, and what you have is a lot of people talking.
Extra Sports, who's this?
Vincent Sancomeni.
Yes, Vince.
I think it's time for the LA people to say no to franchise extortion.
No.
Turn on the radio and TV. Turn to the pages of the LA Times and other newspapers. The subject is the Seahawks. The team is trying to move to Southern California. Here in Southern California, Anaheim city officials say they have held limited discussions with the Seahawks.
As far as sitting down and talking dollars and cents, nothing like that has taken place. It's merely been informal introductions, and you know, here's what we've got. Do you think that you might be interested?
And when did that take place?
I'm really not at liberty to discuss that.
But Colson is willing to talk about a proposed 159-acre sports complex the city announced last month. City officials say in addition to a remodeled baseball stadium, Sportstown Anaheim would also include a new football stadium, restaurants, shops, and other businesses. And Anaheim city administrators are holding discussions with Disney executives about the project. Disney owns the Mighty Ducks hockey team in Anaheim. Another Disney goal is an NFL team.
I know they'd be interested in a team, an existing team, or an expansion team. Whether it's the Seahawks or not, I'd rather not comment at this point.
No comment. But on paper, this could be a good match. As KOMO TV reported yesterday, the Rose Bowl in Pasadena is available for a pro football team in transition, a team waiting for a new stadium. Meanwhile, KOMO TV has learned the Seahawks owner has looked at the former LA Rams training center in Anaheim as a training center for the Seahawks. But no deal has been signed, no agreement made. It's all apparently just talk for now, and some of it in Southern California is nasty.
I say nay for the Sea Craps.
Nay for the Sea Craps. I like that. I love that. That's a good new name.
Yeah.
Extra Sports, who's this?
Oh, that is nasty. Now, when that LA radio station took a brief poll of its listeners when it opened the phone lines, it found that 29 said no to the Seahawks, 19 said yes, bring them on down here. Dan and Kathy?
Well, you know, Sharon, the two teams have failed in the LA area, the Rams, the Raiders. What makes the people down there even think that the Seahawks could succeed in Los Angeles?
Well, that is a question that may be difficult, if not impossible, to answer. Some say that they need to build a team from the ground up, bring in fresh blood, not a recycled team like the Seahawks. But this is a constant. NFL's commissioner very interested in getting a team into LA. The reason, this is the second largest television market in the country without an NFL football team.
Interesting to see what the NFL will say. Thank you, Sharon.
You're watching KOMO TV 4 in Seattle. Now, KOMO News 4.
You can't take our team. You can't take all the memories. You can't take it from the kids in the future.
Emotions are running high tonight as the Seahawks pack up and leave town. These moving vans are a bit confusing for optimistic fans. They're still hoping a local buyer will step forward and keep the Seahawks in Seattle. Good evening, everyone. The Seahawks moving vans have come and gone.
The destination is apparently Southern California. KOMO's John Sharifi was at Seahawks headquarters this morning in Kirkland, where angry fans tried to prevent those moving vans from leaving. Quite a scene out there today, John.
It really was, Eric. A very emotional day for Seahawks fans as they watched movers fill their vans and head out. And KOMO News has learned this move may have been planned for some time. A source tells us some of the boxes had labels on them dating back to December. When the moving vans came this morning, so did the fans. They came to watch from the gate.
This is my team. I love this team. I care about this team.
They watched as movers carried dumbbells, weightlifting equipment into the moving van. 11-year-old Ron Stimmel is a fan, but he says he won't miss them. Maybe it's the anger talking.
Well, I think they came here knowing that they were going to leave to California again. He just wanted to steal the team.
What could they do but watch?
Come on, buddy, turn that thing around.
There was something they could do after all. That's Chad Poyer standing firm. Alan Akers is to his left, Steve Fisher to his right.
You can't take our team. Take all the memories, and you can't take it from the kids in the future.
The truck driver doesn't know what to do.
It's not fair.
Steve Fisher calls a friend as the truck driver tells us where he's going.
In California, Anaheim.
He says he'll deliver the equipment by Thursday, and it's clear he's not going to let these fans stop him. Watch.
Pedestrians? You run the pedestrians over? Get out of
here! The mover wins this battle. Chad, Alan, Steve, the fans lose. Now there's the bigger battle.
Oh, you're willing to risk life and limb for that? It's ridiculous. They're gone. They're gone.
The battle to keep the team here.
The kids in this community love that team. You see the dirt on my hands. I was just on the grill of that truck. It was pushing me backwards.
I think it's wrong. I think it's wrong.
What else can I do? I came down, did what I could.
Today, that wasn't enough. Nothing could have stopped the moving vans from leaving Seattle. Not even a restraining order. Apparently, there is nothing illegal about what happened today. The team is prohibited from moving for the next 2 weeks, but they can take their equipment wherever they want. Eric and Margot?
Yeah, an upsetting sight for a lot of fans. Thanks, John.
Well, meanwhile, Ken Behring is telling reporters in California there is virtually no chance the team will remain in Seattle. King County officials are trying to convince Behring to sell the team to a local owner, but a published report in the Los Angeles Times says that's unlikely. Behring is quoted as saying that would only be the last resort. I'm sure that's what King County would like to see happen, but it would be absolutely the last resort. I don't need the money. Again, this is quoting here. He goes on to say, I want this team to be the LA team, period. Tomorrow, Behring is set to meet with the mayor of Anaheim to discuss the city's plans to accommodate the Seahawks.
Well, in spite of Behring's comments, there is still hope a local buyer will be able to work out a deal to keep the team here. King County Council member Pete von Reichbauer says he's been the middleman in secret negotiations between Ken Behring and 2 local prospective buyers.
Is there any method to what's going on? I don't know. I just know that I'm still keeping the door open. I was asked to do it. I think it's obvious that he's going to make a decision. And he wants to have as many options there as possible. And I think this is obviously a viable option because you don't open up your financial papers to the degree that he did. And they set standards before they began the process if you weren't doing it for either a shareholder or a future owner.
Councilmember von Reichbauer won't say who the 2 potential buyers are, but he says one is from Washington State, the other from the Northwest. There is speculation that Microsoft co-founder and billionaire Paul Allen is one of the people interested in buying the team. Allen will only admit to reviewing the team's finances. Fans here in the Northwest aren't the only ones waiting to see what happens next with the Seahawks.
Now, fans across the country will be watching to see if the NFL will put its foot down and stop the move. KOMO's Bruce King has more from Hawaii, the site of today's Pro Bowl.
One thing I've learned here is the Seahawks situation is not just a Seattle problem, it's a league problem. And those who cover the NFL nationally are as concerned and confused as the rest of us over what's going to happen next.
Something has got to be done, is my feelings. I mean, the people that make this game are the players and the fans, and half of them are getting dumped on big time.
ABC's Frank Gifford was in Honolulu to broadcast the Pro Bowl game. His broadcast partner, Dan Deerdorf, was also being honored as a member of the NFL's Hall of Fame. Deerdorf, who starred for the St. Louis Cardinals, knows what it's like to lose a team.
My team's gone, and I don't care if the Rams are in St. Louis or not. The Rams are fine, but, you know, the team that we spent generations supporting is gone. It's in Arizona now, and if this happens in too many places, the league is, I think, a lot of irreparable damage is going to be done to the fans.
This year's Pro Bowl may have been the final appearance for Seattle Seahawks players. Sports Illustrated's Peter King thinks the move will indeed take place, with Ken Behring's team ultimately playing in Anaheim.
I'd say the chances are likely that the courts are going to allow him to move, but I don't think the NFL, Seattle, or Los Angeles will go down without a fight.
I think that Seattle is just another unfortunate example of franchise free agency, and where will it all end?
The league may not be able to resolve this on its own. Peter King told me the eventual solution may come from the U.S. Senate, which could grant the NFL special powers to control franchise moves. This is Bruce King at the Pro Bowl in Honolulu.
Now, as we mentioned, we expect developments in the Seahawks story from California tomorrow. We have a crew there. The mayor of Anaheim is slated to hold a press conference tomorrow about the city's plans to accommodate the Seahawks. Team owner Ken Behring will reportedly attend that press conference. All the developments tomorrow, beginning with KOMO News 4 at 5 and 6 a.m.